Alright guys, now I'm going to review tonight's Raw. Well, I guess last night's Raw because it's 12:02 now. So, obviously it's been a while since I've watched Monday Night Raw. I haven't watched Monday Night Raw SmackDown since live without a DVR since last October. It's been a while. I don't know what happened. I was busy with school all the time at that time, so I would have to DVR Raw, do my homework, and then come back and watch it later. And then I went through my depression that I talked about in my last video, and then just kind of stopped watching wrestling altogether in May. And pretty much, I wouldn't really say it was May. I would say it was May, April time I stopped watching wrestling. I don't really know exactly when I stopped. It was like around the time of April and May. So then I started watching again recently in August. I was watching the past stuff, and then I just you know what? My friend Chris and John are like, what the fuck are you doing, Owen? We don't want you watching this past stuff. Watch the current shit. So I went back to school and pretty much started watching the current shit because it was time for me to stop watching the past shit because I wasn't gonna get anywhere, especially with school. I didn't have the time to do that shit. So I want to talk about tonight's Raw, and I'm gonna try to do the best that I can. Because of the fact, but I haven't watched Raw in a few months, so I'm kind of out of the loop with the storylines. I like the set. You know, I like the Raw set. You know, it looks really good. You know, you have the Titantron. You got like a bunch of little small Titantrons. I think the Raw Titantron looks good. I think the theme song's awesome. You know, when they're trying to best SmackDown and you have the enemy song and the SmackDown's Raw's enemy, I like that. I like the commentary team of Michael Cole, Byron Saxton, and Corey Graves. I think that's a great commentary team. Corey Graves is a great heel commentator. You got Byron Saxton, who's a good babyface commentator, who's a little goofy sometimes. And you got Michael Cole, who's a decent play-by-play commentator. And maybe now that he's surrounded by commentators who are actually good at being heels, he can actually be one himself. So that's jolly good. So then, now I don't remember what happened point by point, so I saw it, but I'm just going to talk about the stuff that I think is important. Raw immediately starts off with Mick Foley, who's the general manager of Monday Night Raw, which I like the fact that he's a GM of Monday Night Raw. You know, Mick Foley, like I said, everyone loves Mick Foley. He actually knows a lot about the wrestling business, and he's not a heel general manager, and I kind of like it too, because you got Stephanie McMahon, who technically is supposed to be a heel, and Mick Foley, who is a babyface. And Mick Foley wants to know who should face Charlotte for the Women's Championship. He's trying to figure this all out, and Charlotte says that nobody should face it. Well, at first she comes out, because lately what's been going on is Sasha Banks won the title from Charlotte, but then Charlotte won it back at SummerSlam, because Sasha Banks in real life got injured. And then she did that whole fake retirement thing, which I guess people hated, which I watched on TV, and it looked actually really well done. And I don't know what people hate for it, because I said Mark Henry did the same thing a few years ago. You guys didn't hate it then, so why do you hate it now? So then you had Charlotte, but you have Sasha Banks, who has a rematch clause, and you have Bayley, who pinned Charlotte last week via interference from Dana Brooke, which she forced Dana Brooke to apologize. And so Sasha Banks and Bayley come out, and they are arguing who wants the women's championship. And Sasha says that she likes Bayley. You had my back at Battleground, but this is the women's title, and when it comes to this, there is no friends. And Bayley's kind of acting nervous, which I like that she is kind of acting nervous in a sense, because she's supposed to be like that little kid. She's supposed to be like a little kid. That's her gimmick, where she's like a 10-year-old and she's free-spirited. But I don't think she should be acting that nervous. Maybe she legitimately was nervous. I don't know. And you have Dana Brooke, who eventually just slaps the shit out of Charlotte, because Charlotte continues to treat her like crap, because of the fact that Charlotte is has been treating her like crap, saying and blaming her anytime she loses a match. And she just says, you know what, you're nothing, you're just my protege, but you're around greatness, and blah, blah, blah. So Mick Foley sets up a triple threat women's match between Dana Brooke, Sasha Banks, and Bayley. Now, I had no clue who was going to win this match, because it couldn't have gone to any of these girls. You could have given it to Bayley, because she's the new woman who just recently got caught up in the main roster. You could have given it to Sasha Banks, who still has a feud going on with Charlotte at the moment, or he couldn't have given it to Dana Brooke, which I would have hated, but I would have understood because she just recently slapped Charlotte in the fucking face. But they had a fine match. I mean, Dana Brooke sucks, so a lot of the match was just her doing stuff. But they had a fine match. You had Sasha Banks at the end get the bank statement on Dana Brooke, but Bayley broke it up. Then you had Bayley hit the belly-to-belly on Dana Brooke, and then Sasha Banks rolling up Bayley for a victory, which I was fine with. I actually didn't think Sasha Banks was going to win because I thought she was injured because she was holding her back like she was injured, but I think she might have just been selling, which is good. So I like the fact that Sasha Banks won. So at the Clash of the Champions, it's going to be Charlotte versus Sasha Banks, which I am down with. And I think that Charlotte may keep the title, and they probably want to put the title on Bayley, but I don't know yet. I mean, Sasha Banks didn't really get much of a title reign, so it's like, eh. They had another thing go on with the women because they're doing this whole feud with Nia Jax and Alicia Fox. I don't really know why, but Nia Jax, I guess, has been squashing people, and Alicia Fox is at least a former Divas champion, and she just goes out there and obliterates Alicia Fox, which is fine because you got to make Nia Jax look strong. But by God, she fucking blows. So, and then you had Bo Dallas come out, and he had an enhancement talent match. It was him versus an enhancement talent, and Bo Dallas, I like his new gimmick. You know, he always has been coming out and giving other people inspirational speeches, saying that you should believe, and he was always happy, but now he's aggressive. You know, he's saying, you know what, I was wrong. I was wrong to tell you guys to believe. Bo should believe, and I'm going to just focus on me. I loved it. You know, it was great. I can relate to that, because that's kind of a lot of the stuff that I was going through. Well, I was trying to focus on other people, but I didn't focus on me, so now that's what I'm doing. So I liked it. And Bo Dallas beats him with, like, a version of the Crossroads, and it was good. You know, I like it, because Bo Dallas kind of sucks in the ring anyway, so this will make him better in the ring, because this is what I like about enhancement matches, and this is going to make Bo Dallas look strong. It was good. I was fine. You know? I like that they have bringing back squash matches. I thought those died. They didn't really do them as much anymore, but I like them. And then you had a match between Jinder Mahal, who comes in peace, which is weird, so it sounds like he's a terrorist. I don't know. I'm not saying this as a joke, but that's what he's saying. He comes in peace, and he gets on the mic and talks about that. You know, I'm here. He said he left before because he was aggressive. He was hating everybody, and you know he said some things. And he has a match with Jack Swagger and beats him. I forget how though. I think he beat him with like a neck breaker, and it was good. You know, I like the fact that Jinder Mahal's back, but he's probably not going to be doing nothing. So, and afterwards, Jack Swagger gets interviewed and asked when his contract is going to be up, because I guess his contract with Raw is going to be up, and he doesn't say anything. So either he's just leaving the company, or he just is going to turn heel. I don't know. Then you had this whole thing going on with Enzo and Cass and the Shining Stars. And I'm sorry, but I hate the Shining Stars. I like Primo and Epico, but it's like, this gimmick to me sucks. Like, I don't get the point of it. I guess they're supposed to be con artists who con people by selling them to go to Puerto Rico with this big money and all that, but it's like, why? It's just like, it's just so stupid. All they do is just plug how great Puerto Rico is. It's like, it sucks. So I just don't want to see that. So yeah, you had this, but Epico had a match with Enzo Amore, which was fine, and Epico beats him. So the team Enzo and Cass can't even beat the Shining Stars. I guess they want to do a feud with them, but it's like, why? Why can't they just beat them? You know, I guess I like that the Shining Stars aren't being jobbed out, but it's like, it sucks, you know. I think Enzo and Cass should be being built up to be the next WWE Tag Team Champions, but whatever. And speaking of the WWE Tag Team Champions, you had the New Day, who are still the WWE Tag Team Champions, the longest reigning WWE Tag Team Champions, and I still love the New Day. The segment was good here, but not as good as it's been in the past. Um, Now, granted, I was told by John Tuddy today, who is a friend of mine, that the New Day's character is getting stale. Now, obviously, I'm not going to notice that because I haven't seen him in a while. Which, if that be the case, it does make sense because I had talked about it before. It will happen, maybe eventually, because of the fact that they've been together for so long and they've been pounding down our throat for years. So, you know, so the New Day is now maybe the act's finally getting stale. Maybe they should have dropped the tag titles a lot sooner than they did. You know, they're the longest reigning tag team champions now. That there's no real need for them to be the tag team champions. And maybe it's time for them, a new tag team, to take that spot as tag team champions. So, and I think that tag team is none other than Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. Here's why. Because they recently just came into the company. They destroyed people, and it's time to throw the titles on them. Now, I hear they're doing comedy. They've been doing comedy the past couple of weeks that hasn't been good. And if that's the case, I don't agree with it. They shouldn't be the type of team that does comedy. They should be the type of team that's laying people out. They should be the type of team that beats the crap out of people. They should be destructive. They should be decisive. I don't know if I use that word right, but I think that's what they should be. So you had the match between... This match happened at SummerSlam. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson versus Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. They had a really good, solid tag team match. They dominated Kofi Kingston a good portion of the matchup, and then Xavier Woods got the hot tag, and they hit the Magic Killer on Xavier Woods for the victory, which makes sense because you want to give the challengers momentum going into the pay-per-view. I was fine with that. So it was good. Now, anything else I'm missing on Raw before I talk about this next segment? I covered the tag team division. I guess I'm going to think for a second. Because I think I might be missing something on Raw. I covered the Jinder Mahal Jack Swagger match. I covered the tag team division. I covered, I think I covered everything. Other than what I want to talk about next. I think I did. Oh, no, I didn't. So Chris Jericho's highlight reel. That's what I missed. So you had the highlight reel with Sami Zayn. And Chris Jericho's having this highlight reel because, he was supposed to have it with Kevin Owens, but he wanted to have it with his worst enemy, Sami Zayn. And I like the fact that Chris Jericho comes out like this now. Like, he looks... I love his heel work right now. He's great. And I love how there's his comedy when he's like, "You're gonna get it." It was awesome. That's awesome. And you have Chris Jericho come out, and he says that he wanted to interview his best friend Kevin Owens, but Mick Foley took that opportunity away from him. And he talks about how he instead of reviewing the highs of highs, and he gets down low and he says, "I'm gonna review the lowest of lows." Sami Zayn. And Chris Jericho, when he comes out, Chris Jericho talks about how he's jealous. He was the reason behind his friendship because he got jealous of Kevin Owens' accomplishments. And now he doesn't even consider him a friend. He doesn't even have his new number. And pretty much he just continuously talks about how great Kevin Owens is. And Sami Zayn says, "You know what, if you came out here to talk about Kevin Owens, I'm done with him. I've moved on from him. What I'm focused on is becoming the WWE Universal Champion." Which I like that new title. I don't like the design, but I like the name. But the new title is just the WWE World Championship, and it doesn't look different. I think it should look different. I think it should be. It's an abolishment that this title looks like crap. Like a lot of the new titles they just made look exactly like each other. Same thing with the SmackDown tag titles. It's absolute bullshit. But anyhow, so Sami Zayn says, that I've known Kevin Owens, and he's known Kevin Owens for a while. It's just all about Kevin Owens. He doesn't care about the fans. He doesn't care about you. So then Chris Jericho is going to show him like a text message that was sent on his phone. And Jericho hits him with his phone and hits him with a code breaker, which was good. I hate the fact, though, that it seems like they're building up another match between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Because that feud is done. They ended it. They blew off the match at SummerSlam. Not at SummerSlam, at Battleground. You're done. You don't need to have another match. So, and, but I think Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens could have a good program. I kind of wish they could have a program where they actually hated each other, where they actually had an issue with each other instead of just having to be about Kevin Owens, because Chris Jericho kind of came off like a teenage girl here, and where you fucked with one of my friends, I'm going to fuck with you. It just kind of like was that instance. So that's what happens. And he kind of did act like a teenage girl. But he has the hearts on for Kevin Owens. He was acting very gay about him. Alright, now let me talk about the segment of the show that I actually want to talk about. The main event picture, pretty much. So, pretty much what's been going on is they had the first ever WWE Universal Champion be crowned at SummerSlam. They had Finn Balor win the match originally. However, he ended up getting an injury by Seth Rollins. Now, everybody's saying that Seth Rollins is ruthless now. Like he's an unsafe worker. I don't think that's the case. Maybe he needs to cool down a little bit. But what I think, though, is the case is it's all an accident. You know, like he can't, like, obviously with John Cena when he broke his nose, I feel like that was a pure accident. And then when he injured Sting, an accident. When he injured Kane in that match, which, by the way, why was he doing a power bomb to Kane through the table to begin with? And when he injured himself, like I said, why was he doing a power bomb to fucking Kane? He's 7 feet tall. That's not gonna go over well. That should be planned. And then injuring Finn Balor, I think he did like the power bomb into the barricade, and those barricades can be pretty hard sometimes. So with Impact, that does happen. So I think these are all accidents. He doesn't mean for these things to happen. They just happen. So, and I bet the people that set up tell him to do these type of spots too. So they had like a fatal 4-way match. I believe it was Big Cass, Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens, and Seth Rollins. And Triple H came out and screwed Seth Rollins out of the matchup. And Kevin Owens won. So, Triple H has finally turned on Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins is pretty much a babyface now, which is something that it should have happened when he came back to begin with, and why it didn't happen, I don't fucking know. So Seth Rollins thinks that Stephanie McMahon's behind it. Well, not behind it, but working with Triple H. But she says that she's not, and Mick Foley believes her, so there's this big thing going on between Mick Foley and Seth Rollins. And Roman Reigns has been given an opportunity to go after the WWE Universal Championship because Triple H also pedigreed him too and screwed him out of the match. So, no, I think it's kind of stupid. We haven't really seen much of Triple H. Like, we haven't seen an interview from him. We haven't seen anything. He just kind of turns on him and then it's gone. Now, I know they want to slowly build this up, but I'm not saying maybe he has to come out on Raw the next week. But I'm saying maybe do like a sit-down interview or something, because it really doesn't, because it kind of gives you that left to question. But anyhow, so Seth Rollins is wondering, so Roman Reigns pretty much has the chance to face Kevin Owens, and if he can beat Kevin Owens, he will be added, he will be added to the, because Seth Rollins has a match with Kevin Owens for the Universal title at Clash of the Champions, and if Roman Reigns beats Kevin Owens, he's added to the match. So, Seth Rollins is like, well, why are you putting Roman Reigns in that match? He's not as good as me. I beat Roman Reigns at every turn, and he does it just to be a one-on-one match. So Mick Foley's like, well, if you're concerned about him, why don't you do so? Why are you worried about it? You can just pin Roman Reigns. Why? It seems like you're worried. He's like, I'm not worried. I just don't want him in the match. So then, Seth Rollins wants to know, like, if Mick thinks that Stephanie McMahon's behind it because he wants to kick Triple H's ass. So Mick Foley says, you can question a lot of things. You can make fun of my hair. You can make fun of my beard, but you can't question my integrity. And I know for a fact that Stephanie McMahon isn't behind this. So he doesn't really believe him. And he's still acting like a heel. He's still the same heel Seth Rollins. So I don't think he's fully babyface yet. I think he's more in that tweener category. But, because he doesn't seem like he's fully at that babyface spot yet, because he's still acting like the same Seth Rollins. I think once Triple H comes back, he will be fully babyface, which I'll talk about this at the end of the video. So, later on in the night, he goes up to Kevin Owens, and he says, Then he wishes him luck out there. He says that he says that Roman Reigns shouldn't be in this match. He wants him to beat Roman Reigns. And Kevin Owens says, well, I would think you would want Roman Reigns in this match because of the fact that Roman Reigns can just do all the dirty work and you can just take the credit off of him. And he says, that Seth Rollins always needs somebody helping him out. Whether it was Triple H, whether it was Kane, whether it was the Shield, and Seth Rollins, and he even talked about too how Seth Rollins got injured, and it left the title vacated and it allowed Roman Reigns to win the title, which no one wanted, and he pretty much forced the WWE World Championship to go to SmackDown because he couldn't beat Dean Ambrose for the title, and pretty much you had this rebuild, resign, resume, regain, or whatever that slogan was. And it really should be the same thing except replace. Because the first chance Kevin Owens got at the championship, he won the WWE Universal Championship. And he talked about, too, how people are saying the Triple H helped me out, but I was well on my way to win the WWE Universal Championship. Triple H just made it a little easier for me. He's acting like a good heel. So Mick Foley comes up and Kevin Owens leaves, and Mick Foley tells Seth Rollins that if he gets involved in this main event, there will be dire consequences. So we get the main event. It's Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns, and the match was going really well. Kevin Owens dominated a good portion of this matchup, and Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens have great chemistry in the ring together. I think they're great together. And Kevin Owens is destroying Roman Reigns, throwing him into the ring post, throwing him into the steps. And then Seth Rollins comes out and it beats the crap out of Kevin Owens, starts laying away with him with right hands. And referees have to pull him off. And Mick Foley says, I told you not to get involved in this main event. And Seth Rollins is like, you can't tell me what to do. What are you going to do about it? He's like, I'm your boss. You will listen to me and respect me. And Mick Foley says, we're going to go talk about this. And I kind of like this. It's not like where it was the Authority, where nobody could get one up on the Authority. They always got one up on you. But Mick Foley is just acting like your boss. Like, hey, I'm your boss. You got to do what I say. Kind of like that. And they said they're going to go talk about it. And Mick Foley has the match restarted, which I liked. I liked that he had the match restarted. They didn't end it off with cliche disqualification or any of that. So the match continues, and it's a really good back and forth matchup. Both guys are pulling out all the stops to try to pull out a victory. I actually thought Roman Reigns was going to win this match because of since Seth Rollins got involved. I thought Roman Reigns was going to win. It was going to become a triple threat. And then Mick Foley was going to pull Seth Rollins out of the match, and it was going to be a one-on-one matchup. But that's not what happened. So Rusev gets on the apron. Roman Reigns lays him in with a Superman punch. And then Kevin Owens beats him with a pump-up powerbomb. And afterwards, Rusev beats the crap out of him because they've been feuding lately. So that was the end of Raw, really. And I liked Raw. I thought Raw was a really good show. I kind of like how Raw is structured. They have the squash matches. They have a lot of storyline. I think they have a good amount of storyline build up. I actually kind of enjoy Raw. I think it's good. And Raw, the problem is the roster. You don't really see a lot of the roster. You don't see a lot from I don't think and one thing I forgot too was the Cesaro Sheamus match, because they were having a best of 3, I believe like a best of 7 series, and it's Cesaro versus Sheamus, and Sheamus was up 3-1, and they had another match, and it was really good, and Cesaro won via roll-up holding the ropes. Now it's 3-2, and whoever wins this is going to get a future title shot, which is good. I like it. And I think Cesaro is going to make a huge comeback. I like how they had Sheamus win the first 3 matches, and then Cesaro is going to win the next 3 matches. I like it. It's good. So, yeah. Raw was great. Raw was good. I thought Raw was really good. I liked it. I enjoyed the show. And now I have a reason to watch the next week because we don't know what Seth Rollins' consequences are. I think what's going to happen is they're going to show it. Obviously, I don't think they're going to show it the next week. They'll have a conversation about it the next week because it wouldn't make sense. What I think they should do is they should show what happened from last week and kind of, bounce back on that. But I liked Raw this week. It was good. Raw was really enjoyable. I think Raw has actually benefited from a draft lottery. You know, they kind of it seems like they can structure everything a little bit better now, and it's good. You know, I think there wasn't anything that was really bad on this show, so this was good. I liked it. So that's pretty much it, guys. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, Wrestling Fortune 44, and I will see you guys very soon.